Hello, everybody, and welcome to another fun Genichiro stream. Yay! Oh, I'm sexy right now. Oh, okay, this is fine. This is fine. Everything is fine. This is fine. Boy, a lot of stuff happened. Thank you guys for the hype train. Like, holy crap! I don't expect those. I don't expect those. Just outright. I don't generally expect those. So, thanks for the welcome back, guys. Well, let's tally ho. Who we got? Who we got? We've got Tina with the 5-month resubber. Oh, come on, Uni. I'm gonna leave it, but come on, Uni. Well, I haven't even done anything yet. I haven't done anything yet. Okay. Thank you, Tina, for the 5-month resubber Prime sub. It's USTA Prime. It's delicious. And Mind is here. Yay. Weiwei's here. Yay. Blind Willie B is here. I don't think that's a name I've seen before. Congrats on your first Wan. Fun fact. If you get 25 of those total, then I bring out a fun little wheel to spin that has a bunch of different things I have to do on them. Including things like prank call, not being able to allow y'all to ban a word, and my personal favorite, random tweet, and chat's personal favorite, me not being able to deny compliments in any way, shape, or form. So feel free to stick around, drop a follow if you want to, and otherwise just sit back and enjoy the vibes, man. Who else we got here? Also, holy crap, Tina, you are one away from... By the way, I should mention that at 100, you get to add something to the wheel or make something bigger. And Tina's about there. How about that? Jeff, thank you for the 13-month resubber. Also, Jeff is here. Yay. Dan is here. Yay. Yudi's here. Yay. And she be 5 away from her own wheel spin. All right. What else we got? Back to resting. Jeff is here. Jeff is gone. Dang. Rock was here. Yay! 151 wands. Just like the original number of Pokemon. Yes, I said it wrong on purpose. Of course, thank you for the raids, Tina. And Buzzity, thank you for the 4-month resubber. Oh my goodness, so much subber. And Murray is here. Yay! Mine on a 150 stream streak. Oh my goodness, that's a lot. That's big number. Big number. Like 150, holy crap. 150 streams and hasn't missed a one in the middle. Jath with a 40 stream streak. Let's keep it going. So soon Jath is also going to have triple digits. At least at the rate that I go. We'll have a new model. This is my sexy model. It's if you've watched No Nos or Cookie streams, this model should look really familiar. Like I literally was inspired to like make the sexy model toggle based off of I wanted to try this model out for myself, and I was like, well, if I'm gonna do that, I might as well use it for something. So sexy mode. I was gonna name it bimbo mode, but Twitch was like, yeah, no, that's not allowed. I have to admit, the amount of movement I get off this model is pretty nuts. I'm still gonna be muscle mommy, but you know, a little sexy time is nice too, right? Unfortunately, the head pet redeem doesn't work on this model. It does work on this model though. Yay! I need to fix that so that the head pot redeem works on all of my models. I promise to fix that at some point. I do promise to fix that at some point. Had a prime sub so you used it. Yeah, fire that sub. It's delicious. It's got the best meat on it. Renee, got it. I will start calling you Renee from now on. Uni is adorable. I'm still getting down to. I haven't got caught up on chat yet. Come on. I'm still working on it. Thank you for the kisses, Tina Huz. And the kissing of the mind. Mind knows how to streak. Mine does know how to streak. So, but you have debts to pay in August. Maria, no worries. I am just happy to have you here. Like, I'm just happy to have people here. I'm not worried about people like giving me money to be here. I'm just happy that people are here. It's so sexy. Yee. It's a pretty darn good looking model, not gonna lie. And being bimbo phobic. Yeah. Don't say bimbo. You're gonna get auto modded. I'm actually surprised it didn't auto mod that. Might not be that good. Probably has to be exact, but still, it's like, eh. Yep. So by itself, auto mod will be like, no. I don't care. I will let it through. Like, as long as you're not using it, yeah, right. It has to be exact. It's special. As long as you're not using it in a disrespectful context, I don't care. Like, I know you all aren't doing it to be like disrespectful of women. Like, if I thought you all were being disrespectful of women, I would just be like, get the fuck out of my chat. Like, do not pass go. Yeah, himbo is fine. Apparently plural. Apparently it does not like plural though. So bimbo and bimbos will get you auto-modded. But anything that has it in there apparently won't. It's auto-modded. I shouldn't say this out loud. Auto-modded can get beaten really easily. I removed Gaylord as an auto-mod word because we were talking about Magfest and Katsucon, and it takes place at the Gaylord National. So every time that somebody talked about the venue, which the name of the venue is Gaylord National, it would just auto-mod everyone. I'm like, okay, what the hell, man? Like, that's the name of the hotel. What do you want me to do about it? Wait, gay lady, fine. Gay one, fine. But default setting, auto mod. Gaylord, no, smack. No, don't do it. Yeah, Renee, clearly, freaking Twitch wants the name of the hotel changed. Say Gex, I wish that was my weekend. Not for lack of trying, mind you. Trying for that too, Rockwa. Which, again, not for lack of trying. But, it's understandable. Okie dokie, Tina. Thank you for the lurkies. So, yes! Ay. And we're back. That's okay. I didn't need my muscles anyway. Fine. Need everyone to duck because I'm about to turn left. Refuse to wear pants. Oh my. George Takei, was that you? He's here. He senses us. He feels our presence. Or he feels someone's about to turn around and whip someone with their... Oh, that was weird. Anyway. Pants? What are pants? I don't wear pants. I wear skirts. I only wear skirts. Oop, wrong button. Right button. See? Only skirts. Always only skirts. That applies to all my models. That's just how we do it around here. We only skirts. Bang. Actually, fun fact: you can't see it. You can't see it in the design, but my normal model, normal muscle mommy model, under her skirt is a pair of shorts. She wears she actually wears a skirt, not a skirt. It's not obvious, but canonically, muscle mommy mode actually has a skirt on because that skirt is really short and we can fly, like, you know, with magic and stuff. It's don't worry about the howls of flying. Just know that we could fly, and obviously wearing that short of a skirt and being able to fly is like bad. Unless you're like deliberately trying to flash everyone, but that's yeah, it's no bueno. I want to thirst trap everybody in view, Safety shorts, yeah, pretty much. What about knee highs? Knee highs don't prevent me from flashing people with panties. Thigh highs for life. I mean, what's that? I just like my legs though. I like showing off leg. Leg makes me feel happiness feelings. Look, it's like as far as the leg goes, it's like this. I go through the trouble shaving them to not show them off. Like, seriously, it's effort to do that. So why am I gonna hide them behind jeans? The only time I wear jeans or pants ever is when I'm hiking. That's the only time I ever do that, and that's kind of more of a functional thing at that point, because brush do be high, and sometimes the brush has thorny brushes. There's thorny bushes mixed in, and you don't want that scratching the crap out of your legs. So you go hiking. You go hiking, then at that point you want jeans. Leggings don't work so good for hiking because they get snagged easily. Like, it's usually, I have a pair of jeans for specifically for hiking because of all the like thorny bushes and stuff, especially on my favorite trail. Like, there's a lot of like brush on that trail. It's a beautiful trail. It's worth it. I've definitely posted it on socials before. You might have to dig for a bit because I haven't been in over a year, I think. But the Maryland Heights Trail is quite divine. Almost pussy dives into the bull button naps. Lol. Okay, Renee. Thank yous for being here, and thank yous for like all the chats and stuff earlier. I've quack. Hi, Alex. I have been in need of some anxiety buffer, which I will get to that. I will get to that shortly. About why I need anxiety buffer, because of all the things that I have been dealing. This weekend has been. This weekend has been a lot. I don't know how else to say it. This weekend has been it's been a lot. Like, I legitimately feel like I could make a stream out of this. Hi, Frosty. Going to need context for that. Do you require the context hat? The context shirt? And the context... Oh, I'm back. Hey, muscles are back. There's still booba here, but a little bit harder to dive in the middle. This don't got no booby window. Sorry, guys. No booby window. Not in my base outfit. Just abs, though. We got plenty of abs. Do you like muscles? Do you like strong women? Well, have I got a VTuber for you? It's me. It's just me. Bang! Just gotta clip me saying booby window. But why though? Why the why It's a silly thing to say. Boopy window. Sure, thanks, Pussy. That. Uh. I see. I see what I see what the spruce wants. Well, sure, we can do it with this model if that's what is that if that is what you desire. Sprucey. I'm thinking I don't think anyone has ever combined the two before. Bath salts. Like bath salts to my boobs, but that's gonna get all messy and weird. Oh, bath salts my boobies. Yeah. Good affirmation. Yeah, I guess, yeah, sure. Oh, mind. Mind's the robot. Did you know that you are such a good girl? Yes, you are. You are indeed such a good girl. What a good girl you are. No glowy eyes on this model. I should probably set that up too. If you guys are gonna combine redeems like that, I should probably set more stuff up with alt models. I just never had reason to, you know. Kiss a dummy girl on her birthday. Oh, Maria, it's your birthday today? Oh, hun. Oh, hun. Can I sing the song? Can I sing the song? Also, do you want me to sing it normal or you want me to sing it spicy? I could sing it spicy. You'll know. You'll know what I mean when I do it. Normal, valid. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Maria. Happy birthday to you. Ring, ring. By the way, if anybody ever wants the spicy version, I will give the spicy version. But don't lie to me about your birthdays, or I'll be annoyed. Now that's a good pin, Uni. That's a good pin. I like that pin. We're gonna leave that up for a bit. Get wolf areas. We get wolf done. Wang. Lie about a day today. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, Uni. Don't we all? Don't we all? Leave it to us girlies to just like love each other endlessly. Goodness. Girls loving each other endlessly. Which Boy howdy, that's gonna be a good feature on this story. It will a handful of you know already. There will be, but I suppose the rest of y'all might want to know too. Oh, hey, muscles are back. Also, to answer the question before anybody asks, whenever I know I'm going to be doing a chatter stream, I generally turn off the throw stuff things because I don't want my flow. I don't want my talkies and my flows to get interrupted with wham 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 meat in my face. Just cause, yeah, no. We got plenty of time to throw meat at me. Actually, before I actually start talking about my things, uh, my dinner is suddenly disagreeing with me. I'll be right back, guys. I'm sorry for jumping away. It hasn't even been 30 minutes yet, but I need to BRB. I'm gonna try to be quick, but I'm gonna put on some words on stream for you guys. All right, I promise I'll be back fast. Hi. Hi. Oh, bloody hell. Sorry about that, guys. My body is just very, very angry with me. All of a sudden. Ay. My body got a little angry. Yeah, it's based off of. They also have to be mindful that it's also based off of, like, the locks in when the locks appear on my end specifically. While I do have low latency turned on, it's low latency is not zero latency. Like, it might seem like you entered in something right before a lock popped, and then you should be good on the next one, but sometimes it doesn't quite proc. And there's nothing I can really do about that. That is just the nature of how the thing works. Anyway, sorry about me having to go and just disappear like that so fast on y'all. I should hopefully be good now. I think me spending a lot of time being anxious, and again, we're gonna get to that in a moment, or work our way up to that in a moment, and just not really, like, I haven't really gotten like a full night's sleep for varying reasons. It is weird because it's also not gonna be the same for everybody either. Like it depends on like which Twitch server you're like viewing the stream on versus someone else versus the one that I'm streaming on, and it's weird. And like just like your internet speed and a whole bunch of other weird finagly things. Like, I spend time in IT, and I know in general what can impact stuff, more or less, even though networking isn't necessarily my shtick. Which, when I get to talking about my day-to-day, but we're not there yet. We were talking about the weekend. We were talking about OffKai Expo, guys. So, who's ready to hear about the Onitengu girls at the OffKai Expo this year? Y'all ready to hear about my amazing experiences and like all the stuff that I got up to? Which, I'm sorry I didn't take many photos. I was generally radio silent this weekend. There is a reason, and I promise I'll get to what that reason is. Like, all will make sense in like momentarily and whatnot. So, do I just tell it? From point A to point B? Yeah, honestly, that's the way that makes the most sense. Is just tell it point A to point B, and mention the why the anxiety bit. So let me check something real quick. Didn't think so. Had to check. Just because, stuff and things. Anyway. So, where to begin? Well, I guess we just start with, getting there. So, I find it to be far more convenient to get to the airport if I drive there and park my car. I mean, yeah, I have to pay for that, but, it is what it is. I unfortunately didn't really have anyone readily available to, like, just take me there, and transiting there is not fun. Especially when I was already dealing with enough anxiety as it is over thing I'll talk about later in this little recap. So, get there, take the shuttle bus from the parking lot to the airport, because the parking lot's like butts far away. Like, you cannot walk from the parking lot to the airport by design. Like, it is stupidly, it's a few miles down the road. If you were to try and walk it, which there's no pedestrian path, it would take you a couple hours, which Yeah, no, don't do that. The shuttle bus is free. Take the shuttle bus. Park the car, take the shuttle bus. Make sure you remember where I parked, because the parking lot is dang huge. Get to the airport. I actually got through security pretty fast. Like, I'm never sure if security is going to be, like, it's going to be busy or not. Like, things have been a little less busy just because, like, all the, like, price hikes on flights because of, you know, stuff in the world. So, got through security pretty quick and just, you know, with myself and my thoughts, which right now just a little dangerous. Again, we're going to get to why that is. A handful of you probably already know, which don't mention it for don't spoil it for others. Also, don't mention names. So, all right, in the airport, past security, on the plane. And I'm like, all right, this is like a 6-hour flight. I'm a nap. Unfortunately, the two screaming babies in the back kept taking turns, so every time I got kind of asleep or nodded off, wah, wah, I'm like, oh my god, not again! And literally, they kept taking turns. One would stop, then there'd be a brief pause, and the other would start. I don't know what it is with people like, what, like, find a babysitter. Please find a babysitter. I get it. You want to bring your kids to stuff and all that. Which, if you can afford a private plane, knock yourselves out. The rest of us don't want to be stuck on a tin can for several hours listening to wah! Wah! So much for naps, so I didn't get, so already I'm off to a sleep debt. Which, here we are. It's gonna be a trend here, too. So, fine. Finally get there. And I go to meet up with people, so. I was supposed to share a room with Violet Tempo and Soul from, well, Violet's community. Violet got lucky. I was able to score a room that was closer by. So I just ended up being myself and Soul. But I still needed to, like, meet up with everybody. You know, get the bags and everything sorted out. Actually, no, Soul hadn't shown up yet because Soul's flight got delayed, which, unfortunate. But yeah, I was not able to get a hotel room nearby. I was stuck, I had to get a hotel room, that was about 10 minutes offsite. It was closer to the airport rather than at the convention center, which, assuming I can go next year, which we'll get to that, I'm definitely gonna do my best and everything in my power to get a hotel room closer next time. Good God, the struggle is just so real to get a close by hotel room anymore. But it is what it is, you know? So, finally meet up with everybody. The group that I spent much of my time hanging out with is a lot of people from Odyssey Eurobeat's community. Which, I'm pretty sure everybody here is familiar with Odyssey Eurobeat at this point. If somehow you are not... I would be beyond shocked if y'all did not know her, but and Kate, for the one person here that might be relevant for, check her out. But yeah, I was hanging out with her and her community. The members of her community that were there. So her one of her mods, Sparkling Pixie, who adorable bean. She's also an adorable bean. Let's see. Uh, I don't. I'm trying to like go through the list of everybody in my head. I'm like, let's just go with just this. I was hanging out with her group and also Violet for at least a little bit. So we all got to find out firsthand that so last year registration was in the behind the main lobby, and I hadn't really checked to see if that was different or not this year. Which, spoiler warning, it was. It turns out they were running another event there for CrossFit, and that took up some of the space in the convention center. So registration was not in the main convention center. It was actually in a building south of the main building. A building that did not have really good air conditioning, which, lovely. Just fucking lovely. And of course the line was long, so I was like, whatever, we make our way over there. We go when we get our badges. Violet was staff, so she split off to go and do stuff and things. Because she didn't have to wait in the massive line like we did. And then we all just collectively went to go get some boba tea together. Yeah, sorry, we went to boba bar together. We went there, and then half of us went to a place that had went to a taqueria. So I got some tacos. The other half of us went to Jack in the Box, get some burgers. And after that we all just kind of like split off and did our own ways. Like, we gotten in, trying to like eat, rest, recover, get ready for the weekend. Recover from just traveling there. And we still needed to get Wasper from Violet's community, and myself still needed to get Soul at some point. So get to the hotel room, which stupidly conveniently, Wasper's hotel and Soul's hotel, my hotel are the same, which kind of worked out because Wasper and Soul are dating, and they wanted to be together. You'll get your chance at some point, Maria. Like, I don't want to overpromise and underdeliver, but I am trying to get together a hotel room for the Vanilla Beans next year, specifically for Violet's community. It's a matter of who can go, who's able to go, etc. But I need to know if I can go first. Again, I'll get to that in a bit, but I hope we get an opportunity to meet at some point, Maria. I'm sure that would be you're a lovely individual. I would like to meet you in person at some point. But get to the hotel room and get ourselves together, and that's the end of day one or day zero. Day zero tends to not be like big. And I mean, honestly, much of day one, I didn't do a whole lot on day one specifically. I went to Odyssey Eurobeats meetup, and I mostly go to these conventions to hang out with people. That's why I go. Like, there isn't much I could buy at a convention that I couldn't like go buy online somewhere, right? Like, name a thing at a convention that I couldn't just go in. Like, name merch that I couldn't buy like elsewhere. Like, yeah, there's occasional convention exclusives and whatnot, but 90%, 95% of stuff you find in a convention merch hall, you can buy online. You're paying a premium for the experience of buying it IRL. Hell, I should mention online and oftentimes cheaper, but that's just because a lot of the people that are at these conventions, they have to recoup the extra cost of having a table at a convention by having their stuff cost more at the convention, which there's a point where there's a bit of a balance and a trade-off when you factor in them that you're not paying for shipping because you're buying it on site. You're buying it directly from the vendor. And there's a bit of an argument to be made there, but there is no value for me in just wandering dealers' halls and artist alleys by myself. I like to share the experience with others. And I ended up spending most of the day just chilling with Wasper and Soul. Those two lovely beings just, being a couple. It was their first time being together IRL, and they were being adorable little beans. Like they were hugging, they were kissing, they were being model widow lesbians. It was adorable. So yeah, we just kind of like vibed around the convention center for a bit. Down here making. Oh, you guys are making food. Okay, that's why I smell things. I smell things that smell tasty. That explains that. I need to try and follow my diet more. Like, I honestly need to really stick on it. I keep wafering. I understand why I keep wafering. The stress of life in general is not helping, but I need to follow through on it. But do enjoy the curry. I think I remember Ilya saying she's gonna make curry. So I'm pretty sure that is what is going on down there. And why it smells so good. Just the general stress, anxiety, and just the chaos of life, yeah. So yeah, day one, I didn't do an awful lot. Just because like a lot of people that I wanted to hang out with, like, they had full social schedules. And I mean, I get it, Like, I didn't have a lot of people to see, but others that I wanted to see did. And so, like, after Odyssey Eurobeats meetup, I didn't really, aside from Wasper and Soul, I didn't really run into. Why am I dinging so much? Why did I leave notifications on even? That's the real question you have to ask yourself. Let's mute this so that I don't keep hearing that in the background and then keep being tempted to check it. Because I'm talking to you guys, not my phone. Grumble. Never had a curry before. You're in for a treat. Ilya's curry is really good. Oh yeah, after Odyssey Eurobeats meetup, was just hanging out and vibing with Wasper and Soul. So yeah, that ended up being my day one, and I was a bucket of anxiety the whole time. We'll get to why that is. I keep teasing that something may turn me into a bucket of anxiety, like a massive bucket of anxiety. And I was hoping to get this resolved on day one, but it did not get resolved on day one. So I carried that anxiety into day two. Day two is where the real fun is. Day two is when I actually really did a lot more stuff. So I need to be careful how I describe things. I don't want to name names in the wrong context, but I also want to name names in the right context. Let's go with... I will go to what I did on day two, but before... Actually, no, there are parts I need to talk about on day two before I talk about this. So, why I was anxious for so long. What was turning me into a bucket of anxiety? I've mentioned this a few times. I know I have, but it's worth mentioning again on the recap. I was going to see somebody that I fell in love with at this convention in person. I knew I was going to see her in person. And I had known that I had been developing feelings for her over the past year. And I mean, this was before the incident in January where my ex-fiance left me. I had just been steadily like building these feelings up for her, and I don't like discussing these things over text. There's a lot of reasons for why that is, but it lacks personality, it lacks the personal touch, and it just doesn't feel right to like do a confession over text. It never has. Like, I would rather tell someone in person, like, there's somebody I confessed my feelings to. I couldn't was not able to meet that person in person, and I wanted to confess to her, and rather than like text her, I was like, what's the closest medium? So I made a video confessing to her. It's just I don't like confessing over text. It doesn't feel personal. It doesn't feel like it's from the heart. And it's not my style to do that. I want to be from the heart. I want to be in person. I want somebody to be able to see the emotions on my face when I'm like confessing to them. Like I feel like that's really important when you're confessing your feelings to someone. So I had started to during day one, and I was kind of like no sold, and I didn't really like, I hadn't gotten a chance to tell her everything I wanted to tell her yet because she was busy with other stuff and things. I didn't get a chance. And so I just like then so that part starts putting in the thought that, oh shit, did I just waste my time? Did I set myself up for failure? Is this gonna end badly? Is nothing gonna happen? I don't know. Like, a lot of why I went radio silent this weekend, for the most part, is because I was very anxious about this. Like, I don't know how many of you all have confessed to somebody in person before, but it is, you're putting yourself out there. You're making yourself vulnerable. You are going in. You are the Starship Enterprise, and you're going into a wild fight with the Klingons with your shields down. That's what confessing to somebody IRL is like. You're there. There's no barrier. There's no. You can't just like unsend if you didn't like what you put out. You can't just hit Control Z when you're typing out before you hit send. You speak your words, and that's it. You don't undo it. You don't get a second chance. Either you do it right and you do it, or you do it wrong. And it just felt like I screwed up because I didn't really get to like, I only got to say part of what I wanted to say. So I was nervous. I was anxious. And I was having a rough time with that. And Wasper noticed this and said, look, like, you're gonna do this. If you're gonna do this, like, you gotta be like fully honest about everything. Like, you need to tell her like everything, and you can't just hide behind I'm okays and I'm fines. Like, confessions aren't customer service. You gotta be like, you gotta be brutal. You gotta be honest. You gotta tell the whole story. You gotta tell the whole truth. Or ain't got nothing coming. In short, it was the advice I needed to hear. Well, thankies for the huggies, mind. That helped me a lot. It helped a lot. It helped give me back some of my confidence, but it wasn't quite there yet. I wasn't as confident as I needed to be, but I still had plans to meet up with this person and tell her my feelings. So I'm like, okay. Thank you, Tina. Thank you for the huggy and the little kissy. It's like, okay. So I'd like made plans to meet up with her, Like, we were gonna get dinner, so now it's like we were initially gonna get lunch, but she wasn't hungry, so it became dinner. And pushing things off only made the anxiety worse. Like, it's like I can't resolve this until I talk to her. And like she was like, "Well, you told me everything already," and I'm like, "And I shot you down, right?" And I'm like, "There's more." And there was more. There really was more. It was like important that I told her the whole thing. And hearing from Wasper that I needed to do that helped a lot. But again, my confidence wasn't quite there just yet. So I'm like waiting. I'm trying to like psych myself up. I'm just trying to like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I say? How do I say it? Do I say this? Do I say that? Should I say this? Should I say that? And while I'm sitting there like sorting this all out in my head, none other than Odyssey Europe comes up to me. And she sees me sitting there and like asks me how I'm doing. And normally, I see somebody like it's Odyssey Europe, guys. Like, she's a big deal. In my world, she's a big deal. Like, I mean, yeah, maybe she's not Iron Mouse big, but she's like one of the people that I met most of you through somehow, either directly or indirectly. Like, I would not be here right now like this were it not for two people. Tigaholic being one, and Odyssey Europe being the other. Exactly, she's our celebrity. So your celebrity comes up to you and just like asks you how you're doing. I mean, you're going to be tempted to give the customer service answer. Like, you're just happy to be able to talk to her. And were it not for my earlier conversation with Wasper, that's exactly what would have happened. But in this instance, no, I told her everything. I said, "No, I'm not okay." And I told her about how my ex left me in the manner that they did. And I told her that I had been having some problems with some of my other relationships, and like I had gotten shot down by somebody, and I got friend zoned by somebody, like all in rapid succession, while still dealing with the fallout from my ex fiance leaving me. And then I was anxious about talking to this person that I was gonna like really fully confess to it. I was an emotional mess. And I was determined to tell her all of this. So I did. I told her all of it. And she took it all in. And I mean, she told me, it's like, look, you shouldn't you shouldn't feel bad about wanting to take care of yourself. You shouldn't feel bad about wanting to express what you've been dealing with. It's something I'm bad. It's something I've always been bad at. Like, I put others before myself, and sometimes it's to a fault, and I need to admit that that is to a fault. So, like, hearing somebody say, like, look, you need to, it's somebody I look up to heavily, even, is, look, you gotta take care of yourself at some point. You need to be honest. You need to you need to be able to take care of to care about yourself. And you need to be able to be like fully honest with those you're talking to. That was the confidence boost I really needed. She even said, "It's like, did I ever?" She just looked at that. Did I ever like add you properly as a friend on Discord? I don't think I ever did. Like, she was really willing to like take time from her day, take time from her OffKai experience to help me out. and she told me, I was like, look, you've been good to a lot of my friends. I feel like I should help you. And that was beyond touching. But then, no, don't cry on stream. Don't cry on stream. Don't cry on stream. Maybe cry a little on stream. It was really touching, guys. Like, someone I really look up to, willing to see that I'm hurting and just willing to just go in and just be like, hey, this is what you need. This is what you need to do. I'm here for you. Between what Wasper had told me earlier today and what Odyssey Europe told me right then and there, I had as much confidence as I was going to have at that point. Like, I wasn't, that there wasn't going to be a magic bullet to like make the confidence like get any better than that. This again, a bucket of anxiety. Like, confessing IRL is just, it's not easy. And I'm gonna pause right there. I'm gonna pause right there while ads run. Not everybody in chat is subscribed or has Prime or anything, and as a chatter stream, I don't wanna be all chatters and stuff, and then like nobody can hear me. That's not ideal. So I'll let the ad break play out, and then we'll continue. For those of you that can still hear my voice, how y'all doing? Been a save for when I had to take that little bathroom emergency dip, which, gods, I hope I didn't eat something with diarrhea virus in it. I shouldn't have. I don't really think I had anything that would have been relevant for. Today's been pretty... I mean, I guess I've just been so out of it. Just because, again, I haven't really slept well. Because of, like, convention, the airplane. Like, I napped on the airplane, drove home from the airport, napped at home, and then went to work for 8 hours. That's part of why, like, this is going to be a shorter stream. It needs to be a shorter stream because I need to make sure I get I do some self-care tonight to make sure that I'm like ready to go for this coming weekend. You know, I've told many before. I've mentioned this on stream before. I know that last marathon stream that I did, and then I streamed like later that day, and Loki jumped into my collab chat and was like, "What are you doing? Why are you doing this? Shouldn't you be taking care of yourself?" And like I told her outright, I was like, I trust that I can handle this. I made sure to sleep and eat before starting up this stream. I'm gonna be okay. If I know that I can't continue, if I know that I shouldn't, I will stop. And this is one of those instances where my body is saying, you push yourself too hard, you're going to regret the spaghetti. At the same time, I wanted to stream today. At the same time, I wanted to talk about OffKai this weekend. But this is really going to be mostly a chatter stream. Like, I might, like, fire up something on the old game emulator, just, you know, because I don't really have time to, like, set up console or anything. And just to just to, I want to make sure that I take care of myself. And this is one of those times where my body is saying, you do need to prioritize self-care. You have had a stressful weekend. Take care of yourself, or you're not going to be having a good follow-up weekend. All right, ads should be over now. So we left off. I was just finishing that. To what you're asking earlier, Tina. So it was a combination of someone from Violet's community, Wasper. She also goes by the Cindy Lorekeeper as well. And she's from Violet's community, and then getting to talk to Odyssey Eurobeat was the other person I talked to in the morning that day to like kind of help me out, to try to like get me to where I needed to be, to get my confidence to where it could be. So yeah, that is where my confidence level was. This is where I had peaked. This is where I was going to be. I wasn't going to get any more confident. I was massively anxious still, and the confidence can help me overcome it, but it does not go away. Like, being able to overcome anxiety is not the same as getting rid of it. The only way for me to get rid of it is to resolve whatever is causing it. And in that case, it is telling the person that I love them, and making sure that they know and they understand. So here I am. I'm as ready as I'm going to be. I'm not going to be any more ready at this point. It's do or die, do or don't. And I get my chance to talk to her, finally. Like I told her, I told you part of it, but I didn't tell you the whole thing. And I tell her everything. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna repeat the exposition dump here. But I mean, I'll give you the short version extras. I mean, I told her about my life up to that point. I told her about the struggles that I've been going through. And I told her, like, this wasn't something that happened on a whim. This isn't some, like, weird parasocial thing. Like, I spent a year resolving my feelings for her, because I wanted to be sure that these were genuine, heartfelt feelings, that this wasn't some, like, fling or something I was just saying willy-nilly. Like, you don't use the love word, like, you don't just throw that out there, you need, if you're going to say that to somebody, you need to, like, be sure. You don't just fall in love with somebody right away. It really, in my experience, it takes time. And when you reach the point when somebody's, like, the thought of somebody, like, they like take a lot of your thoughts. You're thinking about them all the time. You're thinking about how you just want to be with them, just spend time with them, how you care about what they want, how you've like learned about all the things that they're into, things that they do. Like, you've tried to learn about their, like, dispositions, their likes, their hates. And when you just want to, like, take care of that person. As a polyamorous individual, it's somewhat challenging sometimes, because you got to balance multiple people. You got to make, like, my approach to polyamory is, at the end of the day, yeah, on paper, legally, I can only marry one person. But just because I can only marry one person does not mean that I'm gonna, like, treat everyone else like they're side pieces. I don't do that. I don't believe in doing that. Like, I want to be able to give of myself to all of my partners as best as I can. And if you could just marry everybody, right? It would be quite the web of things. But I mean, even still, like, I mean, I have a partner that doesn't seek marriage. Not even with the people, not even with her primary partners. And I mean, that's fine. And I mean, this was something that was known at the start of the relationship. And I accepted that then, I accept it now. Without my fiance in the picture, yeah, it's been a little rough. And honestly, part of the advice that I got from Odyssey was to talk to that partner about it. And I have a what's more or less a friends with benefits situation with someone else. I had hoped that it was going to go somewhere else, go further, but right now it's just a friends with benefit thing, which fine, you know. That's what it started out as, which again, it was when my fiance was in the picture, it wasn't so bad, but when they left and they just kind of they left a hole, and I was dating people that could fill that hole but have no interest in doing so. And you can't just force someone to fill that hole. Like, even now, the person I confess to, I don't know if she's going to be able to fill that spot or not. Or if she would even want to, which I'll get to that momentarily. But so I'm finally in front of her. I'm finally able to talk to her. And I tell her all of me. I tell her I put the shields down. I don't fill in gaps with throwaways. It's like it's fine. It was okay. Because some things were not fine. Some things were not okay. And so I told her about my life. I told her about my goals, my dreams. I had a goal, I had a dream, and I just felt like I wasn't. Every time I like got a piece of it, something would happen, and I would fall further behind from obtaining that goal. I told her all that. I told her what I had been through with my relationships dynamics lately. Not as a not for pity. I don't want pity from her. I don't want pity from anyone's. Why I don't bring up a lot of these things is because I don't want anyone's pity. But I told her not I told her all that I'd been through with my relationship struggles, not because I wanted pity out of her, but because I wanted her to see the whole picture, to see why I valued trying to get a relationship with her. Why I still value trying to get a relationship with her. Why, like, a way of trying to tell her why it's important. And I told her, like, look, I took a year to fall in love with you, a year of getting to know you, a year of learning about you. And I know up to that point, you didn't really think about me in that way. You would have no real reason to have. Don't get me wrong, I always hope for it. Like, maybe hope that she thought about it and then just, either was too shy to, like, say it herself or something. But I knew that was not the case. I knew in this instance that was not the case. So I said, like, look, I don't expect you to, like, love me overnight. That's not going to happen. I wouldn't ask that of you. I wouldn't ask that of anyone. But what I do want to ask of you is that you give me a chance. Like, let's have a couple dates. Let's see where it goes. Let's see how it feels. And we take that chance and nothing comes of it, then At that point, I have to accept that. I would be sad, but that point, I mean, we have to. I wanted to really express to her. I want to try. Just give me that chance. Let me have a chance to show you that there's something there. Like I even told her about, and if you're listening, I probably shouldn't have. I don't know if she's listening or not. If you are listening, hun, I probably shouldn't have told you about some of the darker things I've been through. But I told her about some of the dark things and struggles I've been going through that I have not told. I have only told the people I trust closest with. I'm not going to talk about this publicly. It's not a public conversation. It's not something I reveal about myself lightly. All that I need you all to understand is these are the most vulnerable parts of my psyche, and I was laying them bare before the woman that I was confessing to. And I probably I don't know if I should have told her that or not. Like I told her, like, I promise I won't let the darkness overcome me. For you, I won't let it ever overcome me. And I do worry that came across as manipulative. It was not the goal, though. The idea was to tell her that so that she wouldn't worry about me, not that it was something that I would hold over her head. And if you're listening, I that's what I meant. Not something to be held over your head, but that you are a light in the darkness for me. Thank you for the 3-stream streak, Jordy. Much appreciated. So this is the most vulnerable I've ever made myself for another person. Because that's the advice that I got. Lay it all down. Don't cover up anything. Be honest. Be truthful. Be complete. And hello, Afro. Thank you for the hugs. I told her all these things. And I was... Thank you for the 16-month resubber, Afro. It's USDA Prime. It's delicious. I'm trying to be serious here, and I'm still making jokes about how it's a USDA Prime sub. I guess there's no off switch, is there? But yes, I had laid myself as bare and exposed as I ever have to another individual. And all I had was hope that I've told her all these things. I've told her everything about me. Like, she... Obviously, I can only say so much in a few minutes span, but as much as I could describe myself in that time span, I told her everything that I could. And I asked her again. I told her I love you. I want to date you. I want to see if this is a thing that we could make work. Please give me the chance. And I didn't get a no. I didn't get a yes. But she did say maybe. And you know, we take those. And I told her like she had told me that, you know, I'm not sure I want to start something. I don't really have it in me to start something. And I said, "Hun, you don't need to do anything. You just be there. I'll plan out everything. I'll come up with all the ideas. I'll handle all the activities that we would do. All I ask is that you be there and give me that chance." And maybe it wasn't the answer it was hoping for, but it's an answer that does give me some degree of hope. And I don't know, I still feel like I screwed up some parts. Thanks for the 3 stream streak, Afro. I still feel like I messed up some parts. I could have said some things better. I am worried that certain things were misconstrued. I'm going to again, I hate text, but I'm going to send her a message later about some clarity for those things. Just because I want to be sure, you know. I was told, like, look, I was like told to, like, look, you probably should clear a couple things up in what you said, but make sure you time it well. And hopefully I'll try to follow up with her tomorrow a little bit. But I also don't want to overwhelm her either. Like, she's a really lovely individual. And I do love her. I haven't felt this strongly about someone in a long time. I had hopes for one of my other partners. But, I mean, she outright says, like, look, I can be your friend, but I can't be your lover at this point in time. And I took the wind out of my sails. But I accepted it. There was someone else that I had grown feelings for over much of the same time span. And she said, look, I appreciate you, but I have too many partners already. I cannot start another relationship. I'll be spreading myself too thin, and my partners don't deserve that. And I mean, I care about happiness of those I love more than anything else. It's another part of one of one of those parts of I don't take care of myself as well as I should, maybe. But I told her I understand. I told her I love you. And I know you can't return those feelings. And I understand why that is. But I still want you to know. Because for me, when I love someone that much, and I'm willing to take care of someone so much, I want them to know. And then here I am. I have been very cautious about trying to start any relationship since my fiance left me. All the advice I had gotten from those who have had similar experiences told me that, look, you're going to need time to heal. 6 months is not enough. And they're all right, it's not enough. These were relationships that I was going to pursue before then. And my ex leaving me changed the dynamic. Of those that I had been working on relationships with, hoping that something would happen. I don't. This is not about prioritizing. This is just about timing. It's literal just timing of who I could say things to first. But she was the last one that I was going to talk to, and it was kind of an all or none deal at this point. It was either this happens or this doesn't. And I was so anxious because I'd put a lot into this. But she said maybe. She said maybe to me. And I hope that maybe becomes a yes and becomes something. If it were not for what Osper and Odyssey had told me earlier in the day, I don't think this would have happened. I do owe them my thanks. They told me what I needed to hear. And I have hope. I worry what will happen if those hopes come unfounded, but for now, the present text, me talking to you all here, I have hope. I've mentioned to at least a couple of you who this person is. I mentioned it briefly in her server. I'm going to ask you all, and I mean this. Don't say who I'm talking about. I don't think I should talk about it publicly, naming names any more than I already have. I don't want people pressuring her to make a decision that she doesn't ultimately agree with. The whole time that I had been mentally working out this relationship in my mind, I purposely avoided mentioning things publicly for this reason. And I was riding the high of her saying maybe. I know it's crazy. Like, I didn't even get a yes. I got a maybe, and I'm still excited about it. But I don't want people engaging in a pressure campaign. That's of those of you who are here who know, that is my one request. Hell of a day too, and I'm not even done talking about it yet. So I met the girl. I told the girl my thoughts and feelings, and God's willing, something will happen. And if it doesn't, well, I don't know, guys. I don't want to think about that right now. I am thinking about it. I can't help but think about it. This whole thing has made me very anxious. But I don't know, guys. I had been working my whole adult life to try and find my forever person, and I don't know if she's going to be that person. But if she's willing to just go on a couple dates with me, there's hope that maybe somehow. I mean, she's also a polyamorous individual, and she has other partners, but I know that those partners are intending to marry someone else. So there is a chance. But that's thinking really far in the future. And again, I don't want to put that pressure on her. But I do want her to know the whole story. So, now that I've gotten that part of day 2 out of the way, so what next of my day 2? Well, so I had met up with Violet and had hung out with her for a bit. Violet High Tempo, which, if you guys don't know who Violet High Tempo is, she's a lovely individual and quite a lovely person to spend time with. And so, I was spending some time with her, and she was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go to a couple of these meetups. Would you like to come along?" I'm like, "Absolutely. Like, we can go to these meetups, and then we can go get dinner." And I was like, "Hey, I'm for that." And so we do that. We go to Phoebe's meetup. I had met her last year briefly, or met her is a strong word. Got to see her is more accurate. Got to see her is more accurate. Got to see her again. I mean, I don't know her super well, but she's a very, like, she seems to be a very cool person and very, like, good being. So, then Violet likes her. So, you know what? Good enough for me. If Violet says someone is good people, that person is good people. And then we went to Lucia's meetup, which let me make sure I get I'm 90% sure that I make sure I'm getting Lucia's name correct. I want to make sure I shout people out correctly. I wasn't sure if Lucia's name had an underscore or not. Which the answer is no. So we went to Lucia's meetup, and she was doing a raffle for her standee. So I was like, put me in. Hopefully when folded down, if I win the standee, hopefully when folded down, she'll fit in my backpack. And during the course of this meetup, I got the chance to meet Healer Main Anna, which, gods, I'm sure most of you know who she is, but in case you don't, I I got to meet her. She like just goes and tells me I don't know where how we landed on this conversation, but I had mentioned that like I'm definitely a switch, and she was like, "Oh, honey, you're always a bottom when you come into my chat with how easy it is to fluster you," and I'm just like, "Oh, it hits so much harder in person than it ever does online. It hits so much harder." I can still make you all keyboard smash though if I try, so I'm still keeping my Switch status. But as long as I'm around Anna, I'm definitely bottom tier around her. I feel like that's all of us, really. Like, I doubt there's any of you here who could survive being topped in any way, shape, or form by Healer Main Anna. Tell me that you could. If I could set up the meetup, I would happily have you proven wrong. She's quite pretty in person, by the way. Which only furthers it that furthers the effect, because then she's got the voice, and she's pretty, and she's right in front of me, and she is putting me back down on the bottom as she does. Sort of same as the damn near the same thing. Same similar thing happened when I met Loki. It's one, it's harder in person. Two, Loki's the person who clicker trained me, and Anna is Anna. I don't know what else to say. She's Anna. There's nothing else to really say at that point. If you know, you know, and if you don't know, again, go freaking follow her so you can know. So I got the opportunity to meet her, and I'm like chatting with her, chatting with Violet, chatting with a few other people from varying communities that just happened to be there. Oh, I also got to meet Jarbles there too. I have raided her before, but in case y'all weren't there for that raid or not following her. Go check out the nuclear bunny. No, she's also a good bean. So I got to meet her. I got to meet Anna. So I was hanging out with her, So I was hanging out with all everybody for Lucia's meetup, and finally she does the raffle. So her raffle is basically set up like it's basically like it was set up like a wheel spin, like how my Mon rewards wheel works. And the winner was me. Hilariously, Violet like really wanted the standee, and it just like crossed right over the line into my name. I had won Lucia's standee. I was very happy. I was like, I really hope this fits in my backpack, or I'm gonna be sad. And so everybody had gone their own separate ways after this. Violet had things that she needed to do. Anna had stuff that she was gonna do. Jarbles had stuff that she was gonna do. I don't know. I admittedly know Lucia super well. Like I've been on her streams a couple times, but I don't know her super well. I don't have the bandwidth to know every awesome person. I wish I did, but I don't, sadly. And as everyone was like splitting off to go and do their own thing, I run into an old friend. When I say old friend, so 95% of the people that I know these days do not know me from before I transitioned. This friend, however, is one of the few in my life currently who has known me that long. If you'll remember, I came out in 2012. That's how long I've known her for. I have known her since before then. Like, just to really put it into perspective, like before Crunchyroll like really took off and fan subbing was still a thing, I ran a fan subbing group. And that's how I know her. We worked in this fan subbing group together. Which, the fact that I'm saying fan subbing is already like, it's already saying a lot right there. I met her briefly last year at OffKai, and I got to meet her again here, and I got to really like have a conversation with her, got to hang out with her. Oh geez, I forgot to mention before Lucia's meetup, we all went to get delicious. I must have getting it. But before I continue too much further, I forgot to mention during between Phoebe's meetup and Lucia's meetup, we went to go get dinner. I went to go eat dinner with Violet, TB Moth, which am I following her? Is she even on Twitch? Well, if this is the wrong person, this is gonna be hella awkward. But apparently I was not following her before, which is funny because I feel like I've definitely run into her before. Hello, Red. So yeah. So yeah, went to go get ramen with Violet High Tempo, TB Moth, and one of Odyssey Eurobeat's moderators, Dart Runner. We all I was like, well, I heard from a couple people that this one burger place is good, and like Violet was like, I don't want a fast food burger, I want like an actual burger. And Dart's like, I'm pretty sure that the place that you just got suggested was like fast food burger. How about ramen instead? I'm like, you know what? Fuck it, ramen. Well, I'd go down on some ramen. So we had some delicious ramen together before, and then we went to Lucia's meetup, and yeah, met Anna, got bottomed by Anna, hugged people, won a standee, blah blah blah. Okay, now I've caught up on everything. Now we've caught up to I almost missed a part of the story, which is sad. So everybody had split off from Lucia's meetup, and I happened to run into a friend that I had. Did I say hi to you yet, Red? Hi, Red. Sorry if I didn't say hi yet. I've been expositioning all stream. Like, I don't think I've had a 100% yapper stream in a while. And yeah, I was talking about like stuff that gave me like a heck of a lot of anxiety. I'm still on day 2, by the way. But all right, continuing on. So I'd run into this old friend of mine that again, she's one of the few people that I still talk to that has known me since before I transitioned, which is a hell of a thing, considering that I transitioned, considering that I came out in the middle of 2012. So yeah, I've known her for a long time. I've known her for a decade and a half at this point. then we just happened to reconnect randomly at OffKai last year, and we just happened to reconnect again here at OffKai this year. This time I actually had a chance to like spend time with her, hang out, and it was her and a couple of other friends, and we all just like played a board game together. We played Exploding Kittens, which if you want to know which friend who I mean, make sure I don't misspell her. Don't spell her name wrong. It's like double checking at a Twitch channel is like, I did not want to fuck up at spelling my friends' names. I would feel bad. I would feel real bad. So. So yeah, I met up my friend Nori at after Lucia's meetup, and so like met up with her and a bunch of friends. I was like, I asked her, I was like, "What are you up to right now? Do you got room for one more?" Because I mean, at this point, like everyone that I had at this point in time, I had met up and spent time with everyone that I intended to spend time with this weekend. And I was hoping I would run into Nori because I wasn't sure if she was going to be there or not. And how about that? I ran into her. So we played a round of Exploding Kittens, and then the room with all the board games and everything closed it down. So we ended up going to get, so they hadn't had dinner yet. I was like, well, I know I just ate, but like I just get like something small. And we ended up going to a sushi place. So I was like, I just let me get one roll. Just, you know, token, get something to, you know, justify being there and taking up a seat in this restaurant. And when did you know what? Nori ended up getting ramen. And I'm not sure how much Japanese you guys know or don't know, but Nori is also Japanese for toasted seaweed. So she did a little bit where she took a picture of herself like eating the nori and jokingly said cannibalism. She of course she is one of the VTubers whose face is not known, and she did censor her face, but it's on her social. I don't follow her on all her socials, but I know that she posted to her socials her eating the nori as like cannibalism, lol. Because nori eating nori. And, you know, I got a sushi roll, I got a beer, and you know, we're just shooting the shit, we're just shooting the breeze, and at this point, I'm finally like, no, I should preface this. The person that I confessed to, I very much want to sleep with. She's an attractive individual. Why wouldn't I? But also, I want a relationship of love, not just sex. Like, I hope to have sex with her at some point, but I don't want a relationship with her based off of sex. I feel like I need to say this, although this next part isn't going to it's going to seem a little out of left field. But I've been friends with no. She's gonna get mad at me for saying this on stream. Well, I've already heavily implied it, and I mean we're all of us involved are adults, I guess. But I mentioned, I was like, you know, if you want me to, we could like cuddle tonight, sleep together. I mean, again, I don't mind. I don't mind like adding benefits to a friendship. Like, I have no issue with adding benefits to a friendship. When I say I'm a positive individual, I mean it. Like, if you know what the boundaries are, you can safely have sex with your friends and not have it be like this crazy awkward making thing. And as long as I'm going in knowing that this is what it is, my mentality can handle that without issue. It's only a problem if I go into something and don't know that and then find out it is that. Like, that always is like a rug pull, and that's not fun to deal with. That's a mental sucker punch. But knowing that it's a friends with benefits situation from the start is like, this is fine. I am fine with this. This is fine. So, yeah, any of my femme friends, if you want a piece, you can have a piece. I don't mind offering you a slice of the pie. I feel like I've said this to pretty much most of you at this point anyway. Like, if given the opportunity, I'd probably make out with half chat. Again, femmes, because girls. We like girls. And she said, well, one, I have to ask my polycule, which, valid, do not piss off your polycule. If that is your dynamic, ask first. And, second, she was at an Airbnb and she wasn't on a guest. I was like, well, I had to try. So when I say that I tried to have sex with somebody this weekend, I did. If you can't have sex with a friend that you've known for over a decade and a half, who can you have sex with, right? But we had a nice, lovely little dinner and got to hang out for a bit. And funny story about things that we talked about while we were having. Well, for me it was a post-dinner snack. For them it was dinner. Nori had mentioned that she was going to Otakon, but she didn't have a room yet. And that she was going to stay for a little bit after the convention and needed a place to stay. I was like, I've got space in my hotel room. And, like, I had a pretty decent sized house. Like, after the convention, you could stay at my house for a bit. And, like, I told her what the room split was, and she was like, that's a bit of money. And she was like, well, how about this? How about, instead of me paying you for the room in cash, what if I make background music for your stream? Notice the description says music mage and metal idol VTuber. And I was like, that's of value to me, having my own custom tracks to play rather than like having to like just use like royalty free stuff that I found lying around. And then she was like, if you pay for my badge, I'll make it even longer. And I'm like, done? Like, so she is eventually going to be the person that makes the background music for this channel. And so I'm gonna finally have my own custom tracks that I don't have to like mute in VODs. Which, honestly, I'm kind of excited about that. Like, I'm honestly pretty excited about that. And then we all split up for tonight, and so that isn't that Maria? Like, just like that, I got somebody else to like spend time with, and I'm hoping her polycule says okay, and that I can like jokingly. I don't know if y'all like follow Violet's social media, but assuming that she wasn't just making it up, and I have no reason to believe she was. She was like, hey, got fucked at OffKai. I'm like, well, then I'd just go to her and say, hey, got fucked at Otakon. I'm being very, very, being very, very optimistic, but that could happen. It might happen. I hope it happens. Like I said, if you can't, somebody on one of the Discord servers, one of the communities I'm following, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna look at this up real quick. For reasons I can't show on stream, so you're all just gonna have to take my word for this. And of course, when I want to go and find something from this chat, it's like, have to scroll up, have to scroll up, have to scroll up. Ilya, that's not fair. If you're listening, that's not fair. You know why. She sent me food porn. Was if you can't have sex with somebody you've known for a decade and a half, who can you have sex with? And like another VTuber mutual at one point, and another chat had posted, I'll always consent to my friends screaming me. I'm just like, hell yeah. I'm just like, hell yeah. So the point being that like I have no problem with having friends with benefit situations with people. So I do hope that I end up with a friends with benefit situation on this one. We'll find out, I guess. I don't know. So stay tuned, I guess. Bork, 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 bork. Man, I can't wait for tomorrow night when Tina hits 100 and inevitably makes Can't Deny bigger, and then somehow it lands on, I don't know, I Decide or something anyway, so I can get my little giggle snort fest on. Anyway, I need a pat command. I should really put a head pat command. Yeah, there's a head pat point redeem, but there isn't like a pat like command or anything. So I'll just be like, yay. Ever so briefly. Yay! Got free money from the government. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool, Samuel. Hey, fuck it, we take those. And so yeah, that was day 2. Day 2 was day 2 at OffKai was a hell of a day. Like literally, it had the lowest of the lows and the highest of the highs. But we're not done yet, because we still got day 3. And so, day 3, and I finally find friends to like go through Dealer's Hall Artist Alley with. And I was going through with Violet High Tempo. That one Fergie was with us for a bit, but we didn't go through. I think they split off before we got to the Dealer's Hall. And a couple of Violet's like college friends who just happened to be in the area. And I bought me some Yuri. You guys remember when I was playing Heart of the Woods last year? Yeah, I bought 2 games from them. So look forward to that in the future. Look forward to some more lovely Yuri romance coming to stream after I finish Tales of Berseria. So more girls love to look forward to, guys. Stay tuned. And ads hit, so I'm gonna have to stop the exposition for a second and let the ads roll the ad rolls do their zesty magic, I suppose, so that whoever can't hear my voice right now doesn't miss out on anything. Well, it's been an hour since I checked in on everybody. How is everybody? Those of you who can still hear me, how are y'all doing? I don't know how many of you actually got ads or not. On my restream, I got a Royal Farms ad of all things, which, y'all right? Y'all right. I'm definitely starting to... I sent myself through an emotional roller coaster talking about all of this. Like, I was genuinely starting to get a little sad again. But a little bit of sad combined with like a little bit of happy tears. Just because, I mean, that day 2, guys, that day 2 story is a hell of a story. Like, I feel like half of the stream became the day 2 story because it just had so much. Like, even day 3, like after ads finish and I resume, day 3 is not going to have nearly as much to it. It's just, it isn't. You know, without the hydrate redeem active, I hadn't been doing that. The only reason why the hydrate redeem isn't active is when I'm doing exposition, my hydrate redeem does throw something at me and it kind of breaks up the flow. So that's why all the like throwing system redeems are off right now. Although I guess I could have just not turned on throwing system. Well, no, the problem is because then if I wanted to turn it on afterward, it would like be weird. No, I could have turned it on afterward without it being weird. I'm dumb. Whatever. Point is, I didn't want like the throws to like just interrupt the like I don't want to be like I was earlier. I'm like borderline about to cry, and then all of a sudden someone wants to do Sausage Fest, which is great and all, but bad timing is bad. And if someone like jumps in and just wants to like greet me with like Sausage Party because, well, they weren't there until then, they didn't realize I was talking about something serious. They just wanted to throw meat in my face and make me happy, not realizing that I was in the middle of a serious conversation. Maybe don't do that. It's like, I can't. It is not my fault if I have the redeem there and somebody redeems it. If I don't want the redeem used for name a reason, then I need to turn the redeem off rather than get mad at somebody for doing the thing I let them do. So now we got that out of the way. And now that ads are over. So day 3. So yeah, finally getting to like peruse the Artist Alley and Vendor Hall proper, and yes, I bought myself some Yuri games to be played later, because we love Studio Elan here. We love Yuri from them. So I think I bought for myself too. I just bought more Yuri. And even still, it's like Yuri games I'm going to play on stream, which is an oddly self-serving thing to choose to do, I suppose. But, and I get to share the love of Yuri with all of y'all. So, I mean, who's winning, who's losing? I feel like we are all winning. Hot is the curry, but yummy is the food. Ilya is very good at cooking. Like, between her cooking and when I get a chance to like have a cheat day and experience your cooking, I missed out on Alfredo because I was diet. I'm going to get if I follow my diet and I like actually like stick to it and follow it long enough and get my weight down and my blood pressure lower, I can like afford to have more cheat days here and there and experience your cooking too, Tinas. Not hot to Ilias, of course not. Sis and Ilya will be like, this is fine. Everybody else in the household, I'm on fire! Ah! Like to put it in perspective for you. Like Ilya eats her hot food and she'd just be like, meanwhile, like I eat the same thing and I just be like, yeah. Two very different reactions to the same thing. But anyway, day 3 of OffKai. And yes, hanging out with Violet High Tempo and their college friends and perusing the dealer's hall. Trying to find the last of the Bridget merch and seeing if there's any Bridget merch that we missed, because Violet really loves Bridget merch because Bridget is Violet's wife. Doesn't matter what the canon says. The Guilty Gear canon is wrong. Violet is Bridget's wife canonically, and y'all can't prove otherwise. Anyone who says otherwise, fake news. It's not true. But anyway, so I peruse the dealer's hall for a bit. I end up connecting with the Odyssey Eurobeats group to go to closing ceremonies with. And I sadly couldn't stay to get dinner with Odyssey Eurobeats group, so I did have one other thing that I needed to do. So I had asked the girl that I had confessed to. So I just saw there's a little. Remember earlier I mentioned I had won the Lucia standee, and that I was going to be sad if it didn't fit in my backpack. She did not fit in my backpack. I couldn't bring her with me. So I was going to ask the girl that I confessed to hold on to her for a bit. And she kind of like lost track of things and was like in her hotel room eating dinner. Because I was like trying to like have dinner with her before we left. Which, all right, I guess it is what it is. But I was like, oh, I do need to at least drop the standee off. And, so I go to her hotel room and to do that. And she just looks at me without skipping a beat and says, look, I know you want me to hold on to this and give it to you later, but if you give this to me right now, I'm not giving it back. I gave the standee to the person that I confessed to. The person I confessed to earlier in on day 2. So she just outright says, hey, if you give this to me, I'm not giving it back. And I just kind of look at her and I'm like, I can't bring her with me anyway. So enjoy your Lucia standee. She was like, she just kind of made a little gremlin smile. I'm like, she just turned around and looked at the other people in her hotel room. Was like, hey, I'm stealing this from Gen. I'm like, just accept it. I mean, it's a woman I love, guys. I guess first present of the maybe relationship. Emphasis on the maybe part. Gods, I'll be glad when I can not say maybe to that anymore. I mean, I hope that maybe goes to a yes and not the other thing. But yeah, anyway, whatever. I gave her the standee in. I mean, I also just wanted to make sure I had a chance to say goodbye to her before, leaving to the airport. Because I'm hoping I will see her sooner. But realistically, I probably wasn't going to get to see her again until... I mean, I'm hoping to see her sooner, but there's a non-zero chance I'm not going to see her again until OffKai next year. At least I hope I get to go to OffKai next year, which I'll get to that in a moment. And, I gave her a little hug, and I decided to try being bold one more time and asked if I could have a kiss. It was a very chaste kiss. It was, it wasn't like deep with tongue. It was just, a basic kiss. I still felt kind of like happy about it. At least I got to kiss her on the lips, I know it's a small thing. And also I was wearing my lipstick at the time, so at least I can say I got to make another girl wear my lipstick at OffKai. I can say that. I can actually legitimately say that, because that is actually true. I feel like if I post that anywhere, she's going to effing murder me. Only if I say her name. I'd probably get away with it as long as I don't name drop. I might. I don't know. Check and see what I do for the write-up of the stream afterward, I guess. And I was like, looked at the time I needed to get to the airport. I'm like, I've got just enough time to go and grab like some Jack in a box and then go to the airport. So, grab some Jack, went to the airport, and well, at least there were no screaming babies on this plane. I was actually able to somewhat sleep. I say somewhat because, I mean, plane sleep, much like car sleep, is not great. Best to play it safe. That is correct, Tina. Like, in my, like, very tired and very excited stupor, I mentioned things publicly in places, and I'm going to not mention further. Let it rest. Let things let chats move on from it, and it will not be an issue. But yeah, so that's the end of my OffKai story, guys. Holy crap, that actually did fill up a whole 2 hours and change. So why I say I might not be able to go to OffKai next year. So I've mentioned this a few times, but I work at a Jewish grocery store. The busiest time of year for a Jewish grocery store is the Jewish holiday of Passover, and next year OffKai is the week before. Fuck. So I asked my boss about it today. I was like, look, I have to go. I actually do. I'm like I mentioned this earlier, but I'm trying to get a hotel room for Violet's community for some people, including Violet herself. I need to be there to do that. I am like that one person in the community that has a good paying job and a credit line. You know what I mean? So I just kind of have to hope on this one. So yeah. Uh she said she'll look at it and think on it. She hasn't given my boss hasn't given me a definitive answer. She didn't outright say no, which gives me hope. But I mean, obviously, like the sooner that I can like confirm things, like the sooner I can like make sure that I don't risk missing out on hotel room again. Like I don't want to get stuck getting a hotel room out of the area. Like just no 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 no. I'm just a wee bit flustered that it's so early next year. It's just to the point of massively being inconvenient. Double check to make sure there was a thing. There shouldn't have been anything posted about the hotel rooms. Like, I want to make sure I like keep up with it so that I don't get sniped on all the hotel rooms this time. Like when I say I really, really want to be sure that I don't miss out on stuff, I mean it. I really don't want to end up stuck not getting a hotel room that's in walking distance again, because that kind of made things a little annoying. Like Violet got lucky and was able to get another hotel room elsewhere. I mean, it was my hotel room. I it's not like I could like change at that point. Uh, what else is there to talk about? Oh, they did post on the official social media about the registration being in a different spot, but again, I kind of missed that. No, I mean we found registration in the end, so it's it's whatever. And oh, I forgot to mention I had a. I'm not going to talk about this in detail because, for reasons, I can't yet. But I had a very, very illuminating conversation with Arkines, which I'll make sure I get her channel correct. There's like a couple of Arkines that I know, and one is the one I'm talking about, and the other one isn't. Okay, I have the. Yeah, I had a very illuminating conversation with Arkines, who's also I know her from Odyssey Eurobeats community, which she doesn't stream too much, but you know, for even when she does. Like, she's also a pretty cool person. But yeah, I had the most illuminating conversation with her. And it's one of those conversations that makes you think. And as to what it made me think about, I'm not prepared to discuss this right now for reasons I can't and really shouldn't. But it will be something I've mentioned at some point. I need to do some research on something. But I still want to mention that I had a lovely conversation with her. So I had a lovely conversation with Arkines while I was perusing the dealer's hall on Sunday. So yeah, that was the Genichiro OffKai experience, OffKai Gen 5. So had really high highs and really low lows, but you know, it was a weekend. I don't know how else to say it. It was a weekend. Like, it was a weekend. And assuming that my boss ultimately decides yay on it, hopefully it'll be a nice weekend next year too. Fully timed as it be. Now then, here's to hoping indeed. So, I 1,000,000% have a raid target in mind. I'm not gonna do my normal raid message. We're gonna do a little different one. So, if you're a follower, use this raid message. And if you're a subber, use... Which one of my emotes do I want to use for this? This one. So yeah, if follower use the first raid message, if you're a subber use the second one. And let's go say hi to Loki. And anyone who wants it, if you want a little good night smoochie, go ahead and copy and paste one of those raid messages in the chat, and I'll give you a little good night smoochie. If you want. No pressure here. She's still alive. She's still going. She's back on Slay Aspire. And she's very much still going at it, so hey. Hey, she's there. Bucket we ball, you know? So I don't get to raid her too often because she normally stops by now, so... I also normally go a little longer. It's just, uh, my chatter is done. I need to get actual good night sleep. So I'm going to go and get actual good night sleep. So we had a short week this week because of Otakon this weekend. Tal Tuesday tomorrow, Tales of Berseria on Wednesday, and that will be it for me this week. There will most likely be a stream on Sunday, depending on how things go. I will be having a guest over, but that's more about that later. Everybody, have yourself a good night, day, whatever time it is in your world. Raise up the hand. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.